A glorious view from our Rest Point 8th floor room after a very welcome sleep following arrival in Hobart. Mount Wellington towers over the city in the distance and beckons us to investigate further. First things first, however, so we headed down for our buffet breakfast in the Boardwalk restaurant below. I'm afraid we overstuffed ourselves, but isn't that what you do when you're on holidays? Beautiful vista from the restaurant overlooking the Hobart Yacht Club. The Derwent River is quite deep and is 35 metres at the Tasman Bridge, and this depth is quite constant around Hobart. The walk back to our room from the restaurant has a new surprise around every corner. Remember, the hotel was also the first legal casino ever built in Australia and was constructed on the site of the original Rest Point Riviera Hotel in 1975. There have obviously been many upgrades and improvements since then. We were told that if it is one of the rare clear days on the top of Mount Wellington, don't miss the opportunity to drive up to the summit for the view. So we locked the destination into our navigator and headed off on one of Tasmania's many winding roads to the summit. Overlooking Hobart on the way up the mountain, we couldn't help notice the house we knew belonged to Hannah Maloney, a well-known presenter on ABC's Gardening Australia. The house is as distinctive and unique as Hannah herself is. This spot is only halfway up, but gives us a good indication of what we can expect at the top. Our little workhorse. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be in the Antarctic during gale-force winds? It was even difficult to hold the camera still, and the camera microphone does have a windsock. To offer some protection from the elements, the lookout does have an enclosed, heated observation deck. Considering the temperature was below 7 degrees outside, along with a wind chill factor of I don't even want to think about, it was a welcome escape. In the distance, you can make out the distinctive tower of the Rest Point Casino, nestled on the banks of the Derwent River. Also visible is the Tasman Bridge. On the 5th of January 1975 at 9:27 p.m, the bulk carrier Lake Illawarra collided with several of the bridge pylons, causing a large section of the bridge to collapse onto the ship below. 12 people were killed, including 7 crew on board the ship and 5 occupants of 4 cars that plummeted 45 metres. 2 vehicles managed to stop in time, but the front of both cars hung precariously over the damaged span. We elected to have a quick tour of the city so we could gauge what we wanted to follow up at a later date. The best way to do this was to join the red hop-on, hop-off bus for a 90-minute introduction to Hobart. Unfortunately, filming inside a glass window is not the best way to present the experience, but some of the footage could still be used. This building was the Hobart Convict Penitentiary Chapel and built by colonial architect John Lee Archer in 1830 to 1834. The railway roundabout Memorial Fountain was originally constructed in the 1960s as the new gateway to Hobart, but after years of neglect and deterioration, it was finally rejuvenated and reopened in 2013. Signalman's Quarters sits in Battery Point, one of the oldest, most significant suburbs in Hobart. Built in 1853, it played a vital role sending semaphore messages up and down the river, reporting everything from incoming ships to escaped convicts.
Institute of Marine and Antarctic Studies opened on this site in 2018. They were once the homes of ship's captains.
Some of the valuable and historic real estate surrounding the city.
Many famous Tasmanians have been built. The famous tower was added 10 years later and was designed by former convict and architect James Blackwell. $2.5 million. The real estate agents describe it as having a village-like atmosphere.
Finishing up at Constitution Docks, where we will have further experiences later on.